happens to all of those other past experiences in those parallel
They are
lives?
still there. They are still there. Because
But
when you jump, it's not your body that jumps. That what you do is your consciousness is the one that jumps to that body, living that experience right there. And obviously they are not going to show you something that you are not going to understand, that is going to confuse you even more. So during hypnosis, you get to that state where you are going to experience what you need to experience at that moment to heal whatever you have to heal at that moment. And
so I have another question. Was one thing I was thinking about asking today was talk about switching dimensions so it shifts the parallel reality to the new.
That's the part that I don't understand when you say to the new.
Yeah, well,
it is a new reality. It's a new, every time you shift, that's a new, I think I explained this before, but no, I don't think I did it on a video. So we, like Bashar says, right? We shift millions of times per second, because our frequency changes constantly is fluctuating, right? Constantly. So we are going up and down, up and down, up and down constantly. And that is like a building with different floors, and you are in floor 4, and then you raise your frequency, you went to 5. That's when you notice from 4 to 5, you don't notice that much. But if you are in 4 and then you went to 9, that's when you see the difference, right? So when we keep switching like that, so every floor is a different dimension, it's a different reality, and it's the new you.
Yeah,
it's the new reality. And that floor that you just jumped, even up or down, because that's what we do constantly, it doesn't matter where you are, that floor holds a different past. So
that's what I wanted to ask. Yeah, like, so like the parallel, so we have this life, and then we've got all of the parallel lives. And so when we jump to that dimension, what happens to all of those other past experiences in those parallel
they are
lives?
still there. They are still there. Because when you jump, listen to this part. When you jump, it's not your body that jumps. There is a body, a pillar in every single floor, in every single parallel reality, every single dimension. There is a pillar. That what you do is your consciousness is the one that jumps to that body, living that experience right there. And obviously, since you are in a higher frequency, in a higher dimension, that pillar doesn't have the same past that this pillar on the second floor had it, with all the negativity, because it doesn't make any sense. A person that was so negative is still in that one. You have to jump to another reality to change. You have to transcend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you change the past based on your present, not the other way around. So because you jump to that one, it's hard for me to give examples of my experience, because it's hard for me to remove people. So I have to, because I don't want those people to, I understand your privacy and all that. I don't want them to get offended, and so I have to change the roles and everything there. But I'm not going to change that much of role. I'm not going into details, but this is the best example that I can give that I experienced myself. I always had a bad relationship with my mom, because my mom mistreated me since I was born, right? So, but I don't have the feelings that I had in the past. I don't have it right now. And I don't even feel like I need to forgive her, because I understand that she was playing a role for me to become what I am.
Yeah.
So I don't even need the feeling of, that emotion of I have to forgive her. No, because I completely understand But in my past, I didn't understand it, especially when I was a teenager, and I was judging her, as a bad mother. So, but I transcended so much that I understand my reality. I understand the whys, and how people play a role in my life. I understand it, and it's amazing. There is no way I can be mad at those people that hurt me. There is no way. I can't feel that because I completely understand it. So the person that I am right now obviously made a big jump from this one that was judging, right? Made a big jump. And I don't hold that negativity thing, the feeling that of the judgment and resentment or anything. So I don't. So I love her, in a different way that I love her here. So obviously where I am, let's say in floor 9, right? I'm in this floor. The past in this floor is not the same. I didn't have that childhood.
Yeah.
Because that childhood doesn't match where I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's not match.
Is that so, what we call being awake?
Well, obviously, when you transcend, when you are awake, you are aware of things, you understand. And when you are awake is when you are activating everything, and you're like the 12 strands of DNA, if you want to call it, you start activating everything, and you transcend, and you see from a different perspective, a global perspective. You are up in the hill or in the mountain, in the top of the mountain, and you can see the whole city. Now I understand why that building is blocking the light of, the other building over there. I can see it, I can see, and I understand. So when you transcend, you're awake. You're awake, and you understand. So there is no place for judgment here. And I still have a lot to learn. It's not that we are learning, you are remembering, right? But I'm in that path, but it's so much easier. It's so much easier when you are up there. So that's what I wanted to say, to explain that our present changes our path. So, but that path in my second floor, when I was judging or whatever the feelings I was having, that path is still there, and that marina is still there.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you that. Because if you've changed that reality up there, and then so that the marina that's still a teenager, that marina still needs to go through that process, and so it won't change the teenage marina. Like, is there any way to the awakened marina to change the teenage marina to elevate, or is that not?
We are all connected. We are all connected to different lives, to different experiences. It doesn't have to be me as Marina, also as these other beings in other planets or whatever I decided to experience, right? Or the actually it's the oversoul that is the one divided, and one of those parts divided is Marina. So we are always connecting in a way or another way, always connected and exchanging data. So that marina is always going to be affected, always. But you don't change it completely, because it is experience that helps.
I think I got
that experience.
That experience brought you there.
Exactly.
Then you wouldn't be there. So does that mean that you would drop then if you changed that past, that teenage marina, then your elevated marina would drop because
no, that marina is still there, and it's needed. That marina is needed with the judgment and everything, because that's, like you said, that's what made me jump to where I am, because I needed that experience. So that Marina is going to be there, you know, and I learned from that, and that one learns from this one. We learn from we connect constantly with every single life that we have, but just depending on what we need at the moment, you know, what we need to grow, to elevate our consciousness, you know, what we need to understand and learn, you know. So it depends on that, is what that the connection that you're going to have. So it's not like I'm going to change that floor, you know, the second floor where that Marina, the teenager, was. No, because that was needed. But what I'm changing is the past of the floor 9th, where I am right now, because the past, it had to be a different path on that line to get to where I am right now here. It doesn't have the same past. So every floor has different past, depending on what you are experiencing at the present.
Right. It's like that 4th floor is like the foundation, right? of the other floors.
Oh, the other ones.
So it'll all crumble if you don't have that.
You need it. So it just depends on your path, and where you decide, you know, that how you are going to experience it, and how you are going to learn, or, you know, it just depends. It has to be with the person's agreement.
So I have another question. So, okay, so here we are, and we're going to take a new body, a new life. We're all excited. We're still on the other side, and we're about to come in to planet Earth and have this amazing experience. So before we do that, are we saying, okay, well, you know, I'm going to map out, this is going to be my parents, this is where, you know, the issues that I'm going to have. So are we also like pulling, okay, I'm going to bring this experience from this other parallel life that I had to help with that issue that I'm going to be bringing in to this life that I want to live?
If you plan which parallel life you are going to connect,
yes,
no,
yeah,
that is something automatically. You don't plan it. It has to do with the frequency. Okay, it has to do with the frequency. You match the frequency, whatever frequency you are at right now. Everything that you are going to see, it will match. It will be visible to you. If it is not there, it's because that other thing is not in your frequency. So what you do is you're match that frequency of that other life, and automatically connects. That's why it's related to whatever experience you are having at that moment, because the frequency that you are going through is this exactly the same frequency in the other life, maybe in Mars, you know, in Venus, whatever. It's exactly the same frequency. So you can be conscious or unconscious about it. A lot of people that are conscious actually about those connections, you know, when they can talk to them, when they during the meditation and the hypnosis, we have seen this with our clients, when they connect. But they connect, why? Because the frequency match. So you don't know, when you are planning what you want to learn, but know how to. That is your free will. How you are going to walk that path is up to you. That's your free will. But you know you have to go to the top of the mountain. How you getting there? I don't know. That's your free will. You can walk, you can crawl, you can take an airplane, or, you know, or a bicycle. You know, exactly. So you decide how. So that's when it comes, you know, with the frequency that you are at that moment, is going to match at some point one of the frequencies that you're experiencing in another life. So you get that connection, and that's how you exchange data, you exchange information. So you don't plan no, you only, you know, which life you're going to connect or not. You plan what you want to learn. And yes, you plan the people that are going to be around. They plan with you.
Yeah.
You know, okay, what is it that I want to learn? Okay, who wants to learn how to be a victim. Oh, I want to learn that. Okay, let me be the bad one because I want to learn how to be the bad one. Okay, the victimizer, you know. And so okay, so you want to do it with me? Yeah, let's do it together. You know, so you talk to the other souls and you create, depending what the other one was to learn, to help you, and you help them. So you make those matches before, so you do pick. Because in my case, for example, my case, going back to when I was a kid, since I was born, actually, if I never thought about this, but let's say I thought about this, because I don't want to say, oh, I was always advanced or anything. I wouldn't say that. But I never felt like alone. I never felt like I wasn't protected. Even I didn't feel protected by my mother. I never felt that for some reason. But if I was another person, like for example, all the people that saw the abuse, they were thinking, oh my God, you know, how this soul would pick a mother like this to have this experience. That's not possible, you know, seeing from that perspective. But it's not like that. I picked that because she wanted to have that experience, being that kind of person, mother in this case, that she was, right? She wanted to learn from it. And I agree that I needed that in order to grow, because I had my own path too. I have my reasons. And I agree, okay, so let me be your daughter here. So we can how do you say, comply? Like you can make the whole, you know, like that piece of the puzzle from both of us, and we are learning from each other, from the opposite sides. You know, one being, you could call it bad, but if you see it in this way, you don't see that the other person is bad. I cannot judge that person because we agree that, and that made me who I am, and I like what I am, right? Yeah. So how can I judge that person?
Right.
So yeah, we pick because we decided to learn certain things, and we learn from the opposite. So hate and love, what is actually no hate, it's fear. Fear is the opposite of love. Fear and love, sadness, happiness, you know, like all that kind of stuff, the opposite, the light and the darkness. You need both in order to realize the other part. You don't see the light, or you don't value the light if you are in a room that is only light, that is all white. It's always like that. So you don't really value it. You don't realize it because it's always white. But when you see a dark spot, then is when you realize. Or when you are in the darkness, it's all dark that you can't get out of it. You don't realize anything else until you see the dot of light. You know, you need the opposite in order to value that, in order to understand it. And it's part of the changes too. You know, if you want to change, you have that other alternative. How do you know? Because you have an alternative, because you have to see the opposite of what you are in at that moment. If you don't see it, how do you change it? If you don't see the light, how do you know you have to go to the light? If you don't see the dark, how do you know you have to go to the dark? You always can choose, you know, but you see it from the opposite, from contrast. That's the word. From the contrast of the experiences. That's how we learn. So if you see it in that way, you can define something as wrong or bad, because it serves a purpose at that moment. But you can only choose. You can choose to get out of that situation, or come back to that, or whatever you want to do. You can choose that. You don't need to go to suffering in order to learn. But if you decide that that's the way that you want to do it, that's the way you want to do it, it's fine. But it doesn't mean it's wrong, because this was a choice. That's your free will.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. That's where free will comes in, for sure. Yeah, it's also beautiful. Yeah. Just last question, you know, bringing it around what we're doing with Qua, and how you know, how we can like have it be with people in their sessions, and how they could be experiencing that, because all of this stuff has been you know, it's very kind of woo-ish, and we've also kind of started it with like on the other side of, you know, like just bringing it more down into a holistic healing sort of part with hypnosis. And how can you bring it into hypnosis, everything we just said?
The thing is that when we put people in that state of mind, you know, during hypnosis, we bring them to this higher frequency. And when depending on their path, depending on the level they are at, is what they are going to experience in the hypnosis. So what we do during hypnosis, our technique is that we let their higher self, their soul, to guide them, to show them what they need to see, what they need to learn, what they need to understand, to expand and change. So with hypnosis, they experience themselves. Right now, we are talking about it. Yeah, you are hearing it, might resonates or not, you know. Yeah, but you're hearing it, you're not experiencing it. When you experience, that's a different issue. Okay, when you experience it, is really profound. So during the hypnosis, you see by yourself the root of whatever is causing you harm, pain, or whatever it is that you are experiencing at that moment that needs to be healed. So you see it from a higher perspective. So, but you are going to see it only, you are going to see only those aspects in your life that your higher self considered is optimal for you at that moment. You are not going to see something that you are not ready to handle, because it's going to change your path in a way that it was not meant to. So they are not going to show you something that you are not going to understand, that is going to confuse you even more. So during hypnosis, you get to that state where you are going to experience what you need to experience at that moment to heal whatever you have to heal at that moment. And every hypnosis that the client has, the same person, I'm talking about one person here. So this person had a hypnosis 6 months ago and wants to have another hypnosis, another session now after 6 months. That experience is going to be completely different, because that person already transcended that issue that had at that moment. It's already in a higher frequency no matter what. So now is the turn to a different thing that they have to fix. So they are going to see experience something completely different. Mm-hmm. So that's how Quantum Alchemy Hypnotherapy helps with the healing. To see, you get to those higher realms. You see it from above, from a third person, from a neutral place. That's what it is, from a neutral, without judgment, you know. So that's how we help people to heal.
Yeah,
it's therapy.
Oh, it's so amazing. It's so, I mean, it's just a game changer. I mean, just from my own experiences, I don't even recognize myself. So another thing that I really love is that, you know, we were talking about the frequencies and how we'll drop. You know, sometimes, like, we're always changing, right? We're always bouncing around. And so when after the session, what I also love is that it's recorded and that you can always go back to it and raise your frequency and you're the one that's teaching your higher self you're actually going to be able to hear yourself, giving the answers that you need to always keep you at that high vibration. It's just, the whole thing is just magic.
And just remembering that feeling that you had when you were under, you know, that remembering connects you to that frequency. it raises your frequency right there. So just remembering is enough.
Yeah.
It's enough. So, and every time it heals you more and more and more. And when you remembering, and also when you watch it, because sometimes you are in that state that you don't recall everything that happened, and when you watch it, it just clicks. So it helps you so much. Every time it heals you more. Every time there is a change right there. Even if it is a small change, there is a change. There is a change, no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's a good change, of course.
Yeah. It really does. It just completely will bring you to everything that you want to be. I mean, I just can't say enough about how much I love this and believe in it. Believe in it.
Yes.
I'm on the other side, believing in this.
No, yeah, but even if you don't believe it, you will believe it once you are in that. You experience it.
Yes,
it changes. It
changes you. I mean, it's the person that you want to be. And I love that the higher self just loves us so much and only wants the best for us. And so just having the bigger picture and having it all mapped out even before we do the session. Like, I love how the minute that decide to do the session and set the session up, it's already begun. The healing process has already begun. The higher self is just putting everything into order and just letting you become who you really want to be. It's just the whole thing is just so beautiful.
This technique is always guided by higher beings, higher frequency beings. And the idea from the beginning was Mary Magdalene's, and then Jeshua, and now Narayan that is getting part in this. So now what Narayan is doing, since he showed up, what he's doing is he is guiding our clients in the sessions. You experienced that, Pilar, when one of your clients. So that is a new experience that we are having. You can see how our technique, our hypnosis is evolving.
Yeah.
Is unfolding in a way that you don't even know what to expect anymore, and it's so beautiful. So now Narayan is going to be there. Is going to be there with the client, and somehow he's going to show up with the person's higher self. So, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
It is. Yeah, that session that I did last week, I mean, he literally took her hand and was holding her and just guided her to exactly where her higher self needed to go. So yeah, just having that, having him umbrellaed under all of our sessions, it's just going to make it even more amazing and magical.
If you have any suggestion, any comments, you can let us know. And be always with the light. Please do the light, people. Please do the light. Let the light in you be enlightened.
Yes.
Please
be with you.
Thank you. And we will see you in the next video. Much love.